Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that feels pretty simple on the surface, but actually has a lot going on underneath. Apologies in English.
Yeah.
We all know I'm sorry, obviously. But the information we've been looking at really shows this whole spectrum, doesn't it? From like a quick my bad all the way to, more serious expressions of regret.
Exactly. And even times when maybe saying sorry isn't the right move at all.
Right.
So what our sources really dig into are those nuances, the things that make your apology feel sincere and appropriate, or maybe just fall flat.
Okay.
We'll be getting into these different levels, looking at some really interesting cultural stuff, thinking about when not to apologize and, well, how to actually use all this.
Cool. Let's jump right in. One of the first things the material does, which I think is a great starting point, is it asks you, listener, think of a time you need to apologize. What did you actually say?
Yeah.
It makes you immediately think about your own habits, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's interesting how we kind of switch between different levels, often without even thinking about it much. The info we have starts with the really casual end.
Yeah, the everyday stuff, like with friends. So sorry is super common. There's that example dialogue. Hey, I'm so sorry I'm late. My alarm didn't go off.
And the friend says, no worries, just don't make it a habit, haha. That no worries tells you everything. It's informal, it means it's okay, no big deal.
Totally. And right alongside, so sorry, you've got my bad.
Oh yeah, my bad. That's about as casual as it gets, isn't it? The sources suggest it's really just for like tiny slip-ups. You bump someone lightly, maybe?
Exactly. Quick acknowledgement, minimal fuss.
But you definitely wouldn't use my dad if you say, missed a huge work deadline.
No way. Which naturally takes us towards the more formal end of these basic apologies. That's where we find, I apologize.
Yeah, and I apologize. It just feels heavier, doesn't it? Carries more weight than a simple sorry.
It
Our sources have that clear work example.
Yeah.
A manager saying, I apologize for the delay, we'll fix the report ASAP.
And the employee's response is key, too. Thank you for acknowledging
Right.
it. That really highlights the professional setting where taking responsibility matters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Accountability. And there's even that little grammar note tucked away in the material.
Oh, yeah.
Just pointing out that I apologize is generally, preferred in professional contexts.
It just sounds more considered, more responsible, I think. Like
Yeah.
you're acknowledging something beyond just a personal slip-up, maybe.
Yeah, it signals that you're taking it seriously within that professional structure. It does.
Okay.
So that's kind of the basic range. But what happens when the mistake is, well, bigger, more significant? The language has to step up, right?
Right. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. The sources bring in phrases like deeply regret.
Mm-hmm. Stronger stuff.
There's that other dialogue example. I deeply regret what I said. It was insensitive.
And the reply there is, I appreciate your apology. Let's move forward. Which suggests, a real hurt was caused and the apology needed that extra weight to be effective.
Definitely. And the sources also mention other useful phrases for these tougher situations.
Like, I take full responsibility.
Yes. And that was out of line. Both of those really clearly signal that you messed up significantly and you're not trying to, excuse it.
No deflecting. And to get us thinking about how we'd handle it, there's that role play exercise in the materials.
Ah, the birthday one.
Yeah, it says, your friend forgot your birthday. But how do you apologize if you were the one who forgot theirs?
Oof. That flips it, doesn't it? Makes you really think about how to express genuine regret when you've hurt someone personally.
It's a great way to practice putting yourself in their shoes and picking the right words. Now, something else that's really fascinating is how all of this can change depending on culture.
Ah, yes, the cultural differences. Always so eye-opening.
Totally. The sources point out how in places like the US and the UK, people tend to apologize. Well, quite a lot.
Like constantly sometimes. Just for existing in someone's space almost.
Yeah.
That automatic, sorry, if you even slightly get in someone's way.
Exactly. It's almost a reflex. The sources don't dig too deep into why that might be, whether it's politeness or something else, but they definitely highlight the frequency.
And then you compare that to other places mentioned in the material.
Right. Like Japan, where you have bowing, the more formal sumimasen. It suggests a different approach, maybe tied to social harmony.
Could be. And Germany, where the sources suggest apologies might be less frequent. More focus on just fixing the problem directly.
Yeah, it really shows there isn't one single right way universally. Different norms, different expectations.
And that fun fact really drives it home.
Oh, the British one.
Yeah. Brits saying sorry an average of, what, 7+ times a day?
7 or more, it's quite something. Makes you wonder.
If it loses its impact. If you say it that much.
Exactly. Which leads nicely into another really important point the materials raise. Sometimes apologizing isn't the best thing to do.
Right. When is a saying sorry actually unnecessary or maybe even makes things worse?
Well, one clear example our sources give is when you just need to ask a question.
Oh, yeah. Don't apologize for needing help or information.
Exactly. Saying excuse me works perfectly well there. It's polite, but it doesn't imply you've done anything wrong.
Makes sense. And the other big one is about over-apologizing, right?
Yes. The sources warn that doing it too much can actually devalue your apologies when you really mean it. People might stop taking it seriously.
It loses its punch.
Pretty much. And there's that funny little listener quiz in the sources to illustrate it.
Ah, yeah. Which is too much. Option A. Sorry my dog barked.
Option B, sorry I exist.
Yeah. But B is definitely overkill. He kind of uses humor to make you think about where the line is.
For sure. So, okay, we've seen the spectrum from casual to serious, thought about culture, considered when not to apologize. How do we put this into practice day to day?
Yeah, the practical application, the sources give some nice concrete examples. Think about situations you might find yourself in.
These are really helpful. Scenario 1, bumping into someone accidentally.
What's the suggested line?
It's you. Oops, my fault. You okay. Them. All good.
Nice and simple. Quick responsibility. Check if they're okay. Good combo.
Yeah. And the second scenario is about missing a deadline at work.
Okay, what's the approach there?
The suggestion is you. I dropped the ball, here's the updated file, and the material explains that idiom, drop the ball.
Meaning you messed up. You failed to do what you were supposed to.
Right. And it also mentions another useful phrase you might add in that kind of situation. Make it up to you.
Ah, yes. Showing you want to compensate, fix things, rebuild trust.
Exactly. So those examples kind of tie it all together in real situations.
Absolutely. So let's maybe do a quick recap of the key takeaways, like the sources summarize.
Good idea.
We've looked at casual versus formal apologies. We've talked about sounding sincere.
Mm-hmm. And those cultural do's and don'ts, which are pretty important.
Definitely. It's not just about the words, is it? It's about understanding the context, the impact.
The whole social dynamic, really. And speaking of tricky dynamics, the material brings up a listener question.
Oh, right. The tricky one. How do I respond to "it's fine" when you can tell it's definitely not fine?
Yeah, we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Where the words don't match the vibe at all.
Totally. So, what's the advice?
The suggested response is something like, try. Are you sure? I want to make it right.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's direct, but still empathetic. It pushes gently past the "it's fine" and shows you're still committed.
Yeah, it shows you're paying attention to more than just the words, and you genuinely want to resolve whatever the issue is. You're acknowledging their feelings might be different.
That's really useful advice for a common sticky situation.
Definitely.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, it's pretty clear that apologies in English are, well, there's an art to it, isn't there? More than just blurting out sorry.
There really is.
So, maybe a final thought for you listening. Considering all this stuff, the cultural bits, the impact of sincerity, how we up, being a bit more mindful about how you apologize actually, improve your communication in English overall. Something to think about.
Definitely food for thought.